Okay, guys, welcome back to political science class, session number 1 of the day. Okay, so far in the previous classes, we discussed about the era of single party dominance, right? Okay, in which we know that already our government, the interim government, they faced a lot of problems, a lot of challenges, like shaping the territory of the country. Okay, creating a democratic type of government and ensuring welfare and development for almost all the people in the country. These are the basic challenges that faced by the interim government, right? So the first chapter we discussed about the formation of the country called India, clear, related with the partition, related with the integration of the state, and what is that last one? What we studied about Ashish Benny, the third one, what we studied about? We studied about the partition, we studied about the integration of states, then one more activity we learned. What is that? That started in 1953 and finally accepted in 1956. No idea.
Reorganization of states.
Yeah, of course. Reorganization of the states and redrawing the boundaries of the states in India. Okay. So almost all the linguistic states came into existence in that period. Okay. 56. And tell me which is the first state that formed in India on the basis of language, Elvina Joy? The first state that formed on the basis of language, the linguistic state, the first linguistic state in India. Elvina? A person who... come on.
The Andhra Pradesh.
The answer is correct. Andhra Pradesh. We know that Putti Sri Ramalu, he sacrificed his life for the formation of the state called Andhra Pradesh, the first linguistic state that formed in India in the year. In which year Andhra Pradesh formed? Remember, you are going to write a test tomorrow, mind it. Who else is able to give that answer?
1953.
53. Check it again.
1951.
Check it again. The state of Andhra Pradesh that formed in the year? 56.
1956.
No.
1952.
Finally. It's not 51 and not 53, in between 52. And 56 other states, Neha. Okay, so 1952, Andhra Pradesh came into existence, and Jawaharlal Nehru, he ordered, the government ordered for a new commission to find out how we are able to divide the states. That's what the State Reorganization Commission of 1953, and the commission provided a report in the year 1956. Okay, and we divided the states on the basis of that report. Clear. Most of the Indian leaders are first stage. They are not ready to divide the country. Okay, on the basis of language, they thought that the division will create a number of troubles. Okay, already we know that one division is made much trouble in the country. There, the partition of the country. Okay, so the number of leaders they are not ready to do so, but finally did it. Okay, and till today we know that the division is not made any much or that much trouble in the country. Okay, there is no centralization of power in with the hands of any particular state or any particular group of people in the country. There almost the power is decentralized or provided to everyone. Okay, power sharing is working properly in our country, right? So next chapter, okay, the present chapter that what we are discussing, it is the second chapter. What is the name of the chapter? The era of a single party dominance. Okay, which means only one party they dominated the political arena of our country for a long period of time. Already we discussed about the problems of a single party setup, right? Okay, but in India, basically the government decided, or the constitution, as per the constitution, the provision is there for a number of political parties. Okay, a multi-party system. Still today we are following a multi-party system. Okay, clear or not? Which system we are following now in India? It is multi-party system. Number of national parties are there, number of regional parties are there. So far we know that more than 600 to 700 political parties are registered under the election commission of our country. Clear? More than 600 to 700 political parties are already registered under the election commission. Sometimes we are able to read news that two parties merged together and made a single party, right? Two parties merged together to form a single party. Clear or not? Or one party divided into several small political parties. So example, one party is there in Kerala, it's famously known as the Kerala Congress. Okay, Kerala Congress. So regional party basically, and every year this party will divide into different groups, and the next year again they will join. Another year again they will divide. So it's a what we can say. It's perfect to understand how these parties are dividing on the basis of leadership. Some people are there; they are like some particular leader. So the leader will say that we are not like the another leader. So they will go away from the party and they will form another party and they will join with the Congress either or with the LDF. I mean with the UDF or LDF. Clear or not? And one group of political party or leaders are there. They know next session or next 5 year which government will come into power there. So they will think about that and they will jump from one party to another party. Clear or not? So they have to rule. I mean, they have to be in power almost all the time. Okay, so such kind of gimmicks are there in Kerala politics. So Kerala Congress is the best example for that. Okay, so I am not against Kerala Congress. Okay, so I told you this is the thing that what happening in Kerala. Okay, so this is a political gimmick of Kerala party. I mean Kerala Congress party. There are a number of leaders are there. Each leader will create one party 1 year. Okay, in every year. So the Kerala Congress A, Kerala Congress B, Kerala Congress C, Kerala Congress D, like that various. What is that? Uh, Subheadings are there. I mean, subtitles are there for this party, basically speaking. So, okay, with the different leaders, let it be. So, national parties are there, and what we can say, regional parties also are there in the country. So, first of all, we are discussing about here. We already discussed the first two pages there. Okay, so here it is, the page number 30. Congress dominance in the first three general elections. Okay, the first three general elections and dominance of the Congress party. Okay, so far we read about how the first election is conducted in the country. Okay, I have told you to write that answer. Number of people already sent that answer to me. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Anyway, 2, 3 students not yet sent that answer. Just read it again, learn it again, and send me the answer. Next one, Congress dominance in the first three general elections. Okay, so you know that first general election that is in the year 1952, the month of January, right? January 1952, the first election that conducted in India. Okay, here the result of the first general election, the results of the first general election did not surprise anyone. Everybody know that it is the Congress party will come into power, all right? Because that is the party, almost all the national leaders believed in that party and its program and policies, and its a program and policies. So each and every Indians, okay, almost all the Indians, they believed that, okay, only this party will come into power. Okay, they will make the government. Everybody know that. So it is not a surprise for anyone. Clear or not? So we know that which party came into power. Okay, which party hold the power here after the first election? It is the Congress party. The Indian National Congress Party, as it was popularly known, had inherited the legacy of the national movement. We know that this is the party basically participated or made a number of programs and policies to fight against the Britishers. Okay, national movement. They're the leaders of the national movement. It was the only party then to have an organization spread all over the country. Another one is the only party of that time. It's organization that almost spread everywhere in the country. Okay, clear? And finally, in Jawaharlal Nehru, the party had the most popular and charismatic leader in the Indian politics. And another one, it is the only party have the most popular and energetic popular leader of all time. That is Jawaharlal Nehru. Jawaharlal Nehru. Okay, so everyone know that only this party will win the election and they will make the government. When the final results were declared, the extent of the victory of the Congress did surprise many. The party won 364 of the 489 seats in the first Lok Sabha and finished way ahead of any other challenger. Okay, so we want to know that the party won 364 seats out of 489 seats in the first Lok Sabha, and they finished the way ahead of any other challengers. So they are far, far better than any other political party. The Communist Party of India that came next in terms of seats won only 16 seats. Okay, so first it is the Congress Party, the next political party that with the more number of seats is the Communist Party of India. Communist Party of India, they won in 16 seats. So write the question, write a short note on the result of the first election that conducted in India. Write a short note on the results of the first election that conducted in India. Okay. So the party won, the Congress party won 364 seats out of 489 seats. The Communist Party of India that came next with 16 seats. The state election were held with Lok Sabha election. The Congress scored big victory in those election as well. Okay, so the same time Lok Sabha election, the same time the election commission conducted the election for a state legislative council. State legislative council. The Congress scored big victory in those elections as well. So Congress party won in those elections also. It won a majority of seats in all the states except Travancore, Cochin, the part of today's Kerala, Madras and Orissa. Clear or not? So Travancore, Cochin, Madras, and Orissa, except all other areas went under the control of Congress party. Finally, even in these states, the Congress formed the government. So finally, in Travancore, Cochin, and Madras and Orissa also, Congress party formed the government. So the party ruled all over the country at the national and the state level as expected. Jawaharlal Nehru became the prime minister after the first general election. So almost all these things are expected by the people. Okay, expected by the people. They know that Congress party will come into power and Jawaharlal Nehru will become the first prime minister of India. That happened there, and they controlled almost all the states. Okay, almost all the states of those time also under the control of the Congress rule. A look at the electoral map of the previous page would give you a sense of dominions of Congress during the period of 1952 to 1962. You can see here. Okay, see here. This is the elections that conducted between 52 to 67. So you can see almost all the states that is under the strict control of the Congress party, except some regions like Jammu and Kashmir, Kerala, and some northeastern parts or northeastern frontier areas. Okay, so you can see first general election, the seats scored by the Congress party, it is a 364, and the second general election, it is a 371, and the third general election, it is a 361. 361. Clear? So variations are there. Okay, clear? Okay, so just observe that properly. That map is important for us. Okay, here in the second and the third general elections held in 1957 and in 1962 respectively, the Congress maintained the same position in Lok Sabha by winning 3/4 of the seats. None of the opposition parties could win even 1/3, 1/10 of the number of seats won by the Congress. Okay, in the state assembly election, the Congress did not get majority in a few cases. The most significant of these cases was Kerala in the year 1957. The first general election that conducted in Kerala, united one. Okay, not Cochin, Travancore, or Malabar. United Kerala formed in the year 1956, month of November. Okay, November 1. Okay, so we know that Kerala Piravi, right? Right? That's November 1st, right? So that's in the year 1956. Okay, so the first general election that conducted in Kerala, that's in the year 1957. In that election, Communist Party of India, Marxist, that came into power. When a coalition led to CPA formed the government, apart from exceptions like this, the Congress controlled the national and all the state governments. Some exceptional cases are there, like Kerala and Jammu Kashmir, we discussed already. Okay, but other areas, almost other areas are under the control of the Congress party. Okay, the extent of victory of the Congress was artificially boosted by our electoral system. The Congress won 3 out of the, so now you can see there is a area, this area, basically we know that today it is not the Congress party ruling the country. Okay, it is not the Congress party ruling the country. It is some other party, the opposite party of Congress. It is BJP. We know that. So criticism is there. Clear or not? Criticism of the Congress party. Okay, clear. I already told you that political science books always bear this kind of criticism related with the different governments, governments. Okay, so just observe that clearly. What are the criticisms? So if it is Congress party, we are unable to find this criticism paragraph. Okay, or Congress party ruling the central ministry, clear, or central government. The paragraph won't be there. Okay, but it is some other party. So the thing is there here. So the extent of the victory of the Congress was artificially boosted by our electoral system. The Congress won 3 out of every 4 seats, but it did not get even half of the votes. Clear or not? So the electoral system boosted the victory of the Congress party. Actually, they won 3 out of every 4 seats, but did not get even half of the votes. Clear or not? Okay. In 1952, for example, the Congress obtained 45% of the total votes, but it managed to win 74% of the seats. So we know that one system is there that following by Indian election. What is that? What is that? We studied
First
last.
past the post.
First past the post system. First past the post system. We using that system. Congress party won 74% of seats, but only 49% of votes, less than 50. Okay, but because of the first past, sorry, first past the post system, that created the victory. Okay, that's what the criticism here. Okay, the Socialist Party, the second largest party in terms of votes, secured more than 10% of the votes all over the country. Okay, another political party, that is the Socialist Party, leftist party they are. Okay, leftist party they are. The second largest party in terms of votes, secured more than 10% of the votes all over the country, but it could not even win 3% of the seats. Clear? Nearly 30% of votes, sorry, 10% of votes that secured by the Socialist Party, but their seats are very less in number. Okay, not even 3% of the seats. How did this happen? For this, you need to recall the discussion about the first past the post method in your textbook, Indian Constitution at Work last year. We studied that, right? Okay, we studied about the first past the post method and proportional representation, the PR system. Proportional representation system also we studied last year, right? Remembering that? Okay, so at that time itself I told you that the system is not that much good, right? Right? Yes or no? If the system is good, but today also we are following the same system in the country. Clear? So what is the first past post system? Hmm? First past the post system in a constituency. Just to think, there are 1,000 voters. 1,000 voters are there. Voters. 1,000 in number. Okay, candidate A, candidate B, candidate C, and the candidate D. 4 candidates are there. 4 candidates are there. All right. Okay, clear or not? The first candidate got 300 votes. 300 votes. Clear or not? Okay, another one got 400 votes. Clear. C also got 150 and D also the same 150. Clear or not? So if you are calculating the votes of, so who is the winner here? Tell me who is the winner here?
B.
B is the winner here. As per the first past the poster, B is the winner. Okay. But if you're calculating, you came to know that that person scored only 40% of the votes. Clear or not? 60% of people are against him. You have got that idea. Okay, he got only 40% of the votes there. Nearly 60% of the voters are against him or her. Then also the government or the election commission declared that that person is the winner. Is that a good method? Is that a good method? Huh? In that area, 60% of people are against that individual. Okay, only 40% of people are supporting that individual. But in this system, that person is got elected. Okay, are you able to agree with the system? Hmm? So I can say that almost all the politicians, political scientists also will say that this is a primitive one, primitive system. Okay, but everyone following this. There is no other best system existing for a huge country or a big democratic country like India. India, the proportional representation is not that is easy in India, right? Okay, because the number of voters is too high. Okay, the Socialist Party, so just observe this one, the criticism. Okay, in this system of election that has been adopted in our country, the party that gets more votes than other tend to get much more than its proportional share. That is exactly what worked in favor of the Congress. So this system that helped the Congress party to win that many seats, if you add up the vote of all the non-Congress candidates, it was more than the votes of the Congress, but the non-Congress votes were divided between different rival parties and the candidates. So the Congress was still ahead of the opposition and managed to win. Clear or not? So this is the criticism basically related with a victory of Congress party in the first three general elections. And still also till today also we know that our system, the same system, that is the first past the post system only. Clear. Okay, so because of that, the percentage of the votes makes basically secured by that individual might be less than the votes that scored by or secured by other rival candidates. But the thing is, the rival candidates will receive a different number of votes. Clear or not? Okay, so here what is that? It is 1,000, right? Okay, clear or not? So A, B, C, D, 150, 150. Here it is 300. Sorry, 150. Here it is 400. Here it is 300. So just think, all these parties join together. What will happen? What will happen? The things will be different. Things will be different, right or not? Clear or not? Okay, so that's what today we are able to listen one word in uh, that using by almost all the journalists there. Okay, they are the parties are selling the votes. It seems selling the votes there, knowingly or unknowingly, to beat the rival. Okay, so they are selling the votes. Okay, okay, so here in this system of election, so we discussed that has been adopted in our country. The party that gets more votes than other tend to get much more than its proportional share. That is exactly what worked in favor of the Congress. If we add up the votes of all the non-Congress candidates, it was more than the votes of the Congress, which shows that number of people, they are not supporting Congress party, it seems. Clear or not? Clear or not? So that paragraphs or this sentence already showed what is that. The textbook maker's main idea is also the same. Okay, so they have to prove it. What they have to prove? A majority of the people are against Congress and they are not the supporters of Congress. They proved it through this sentence. Okay, it is exactly what worked in favor of the Congress. If we add up the votes of all the non-Congress candidates, it was more than the votes of the Congress, but the non-Congress voters were divided between different rival parties and candidates. So the Congress was still way ahead of the opposition and they managed to win. Okay, so in every page you are able to find a particular leader there. Okay, so you can see some stamps there, right? So the previous page also you see the same. Okay, here you can see Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad, original name Abdul Kalam Mohyuddin Ahmad, scholar of Islam, as freedom fighter and Congress leader, a proponent of Hindu Muslim University, opposed the partition, member of Constituent Assembly, education minister in the first cabinet of the Free India. Okay, so like that, number of leaders and their activities and their position in the first government, everything is mentioned here. Rajkumari Amit Kaur, a Gandhian and a freedom fighter, belonged to the royal family of Kapurthala, inherited Christian religion in from her mother, member of Constituent Assembly, Minister of Health and Independent in India's first ministry, constituted as a health minister until 1957. The first health minister of India, Rajkumari Amit Kaur. Okay, clear? So like that informations are there. So learn that too. Okay. So one word will come from that section too. So next one. It's a small area. Basically, it's a source-based question also. So this is the first government in the world. Basically, we can speak so. Okay. A communist government that came into power. Okay. By conducting or participating in election. Clear. In other part of the world, basically, the communist government came into power not by participating in election, but through rebellions or revolutions. Rebellions or revolutions. Example, China. China, Russia, Cuba. Okay, these countries are the example. Okay, clear or not? These countries are the example how the communist governments came into power. Okay, so in these countries shows that, and their history shows that this communist government came into power in these countries not through elections. Okay, not through elections, but through revolutions and rebellions. Okay, the Cuban Revolution, the Russian Revolution, the Chinese Revolution. Okay, but the first communist government that came into power or made a government in the world, okay, by participating in election, that is in from India. That's our Kerala. Clear? Clear or not? So just understand that it's an important question for the examination also. Clear? So the situation in Kerala is quite different, different. Clear or not? So always the Kerala's tendency is against the national tendency. Clear or not? So you can see that in the first election, what is that? Almost all the states under the control of the Congress party except Kerala. Not the first one, the second one, right? But today you see almost all the North Indian states are under the control of BJP party except Kerala. See here. Okay, so some differences we are able to find here. Why it is so? Okay, so that is a subject you have to learn deeply. Okay, next one. Communist victory in Kerala. It's a source-based question. As early as in 1957, the Congress party had the bitter taste of defeat in Kerala. So the party defeated in Kerala. In the assembly election held in Madras in 1957, the Communist Party won the largest number of seats in Kerala legislature. The party won 126 seats that time, 126 seats. And today, how many seats are there in Kerala legislature? How many seats are there in Kerala legislative assembly?
300 something.
300 something. It's a huge number. 300, not at all. It is 140. 140, more or less 10 seats are there in each district. Clear or not? Okay, so how many districts are there? How many districts are there in Kerala? How many are there?
14.
14 districts are there. Okay, so Sneha, tell me what are the names of our districts? Districts in Kerala.
Trishur,
From south, starting from south.
Thiruvananthapuram.
Yeah, Thiruvananthapuram. Then?
Should I tell it in the order?
Yeah, from south.
I don't know in an order.
You don't know in an order. That's fine. Okay. Then, okay, so next exploded way. Tell me.
So Thiruvananthapuram,
Ah,
Trishur,
ah,
then Kochi. That is
okay.
Then,
Ah,
yeah. Then Alappuzha.
Alappuzha,
Then Kollam.
Kollam, okay.
Then
First?
Wayanad.
Wayanad, okay.
Then Kozhikode,
Kozhikode, okay.
Idukki,
Idukki, okay.
Malappuram,
Malappuram, okay.
Kasargod,
Kasargod, okay.
Palakkad,
Okay.
Pathanamthitta.
Okay. Two
Did I
more.
make Kannur?
Kannur, yeah, one more.
Yeah. Did I say Kasargod?
Yeah.
Then
Kollam.
I told that.
Okay. Told that already.
Yeah.
Then which one missed? Okay. If you don't know, write down Thiruvananthapuram, Kollam, Pathanamthitta, and the missed one is Kottayam. Okay. Kottayam, right? Ernakulam, Idukki, Thrissur, Palakkad, Kozhikode, Wayanad, Malappuram, Kannur, Kasargod. Missed anything? The Palakkad missed or not? Palakkad, it all or not? Solve. So check it. Now 14 will be there. Amalda, check that. Huh? All are there or not? I can't hear you. Okay, guys. So these are the 14 states there. Sorry, 14 districts in Kerala. So I told you that there are 140 seats are there, more or less 10 seats for each district. Okay. So at that time in 1957, 126 seats, 126 seats, and had the support of 5 independents. The governor invited. So 5 independents means they're from they're from no parties, okay, independent candidates, and they won as independent candidates, okay. And the governor invited EMS Namboodiripad, the first chief minister of Kerala, EMS Namboodiripad, the leader of communist legislature party, to form the ministry. And the first time in the world a communist party government had come to power through democratic election. That is important here, okay. For the first time in the world, a communist party government had come to power through democratic elections. Okay, so I already told you that in other cases, the communist party came into power not through elections but through revolutions and rebellions. Okay, on losing power in the state, the Congress party began the liberation struggle against the elected government. So Congress party made a trouble in the state of Kerala. So it's called to be the liberation struggle. Liberation struggle. Okay. So against the elected government, the CPI had come to power on the promise of carrying out radical and progressive policy measures. The communists claimed that agitation was led by the vested interest and religious organizations. In 1956, the Congress government as a center dismissed the communist government in Kerala. So Congress party, with the help of a number of religious heads, okay, basically they are against the communist party. They are against the communist party. They made a resolution against the elected government. Okay, so finally in the year 1956, through this liberation struggle, the Congress government, the central government, dismissed the communist government in Kerala under Article 356 of the Constitution. So Article 356 says that the state governments are not able to govern the state in a proper way, or they are showing a radical approach. Okay, so definitely the central government has the power to dissolve the government in the state. Okay, so that's what the Article 356. So Article 356 is used by the central government. Okay, that is the Congress government, and it dissolved the state government of Kerala. The communist government of Kerala in the year 1959. Okay, so 2 years they ruled. Okay, the constitution, the decision proved the very controversial and was widely cited as the first instance of misuse of constitutional emergency powers. So they declared emergency in Kerala, and this is termed as, it is the first use of, what is that? First use of misuse of constitutional powers. Misuse of constitutional powers. So they used this power against the first elected communist government, okay, to show the supremacy of Congress party. Supremacy of Congress party, right? So just remember, just imagine, if a Congress party is ruling in the central, are we able to read this kind of paragraph in this textbook that is against the Congress party? Okay, so just remember. Okay, so almost all the governments will manipulate history. Okay, they will hide something. Okay, that they'd not like to reveal. Okay, or people don't want to know such kind of things there. Okay, so a student of history and a student of political science are always aware about that. Always want to aware about that. Clear? Clear? And this picture says EMS Namboodiripad leading a procession of Communist Party workers after his ministry was dismissed from office in Trivandrum in August 1959. So they protested against the misuse of the constitutional powers by the central government of India. Central government of India, at that time it was the Congress party led central government. Clear? Okay, so this is a special case of Kerala. So just to observe it clearly. Okay, now we are going to discuss about a particular political party called the Socialist Party. The Socialist Party. Okay, so we will read it. And before that, Just write some notes there. Nature of Congress dominions. Write down. So we know that Congress party dominated the other political parties in the first three general election. So first of all, write about that. Congress dominance in the first three general elections. Write about that. Congress dominance in the first three general elections. So just now we discussed that, right? So write the notes. The Congress evolved from its origin. The Congress evolved from its origin in 1885. In 1885. In 1885. So we know that Congress Party formed in the year 1885. Who the founder of Congress Party? The founder of Congress Party? Is that Rahul Gandhi? No, then who is he? Who is he? What is his name? What's that? Write down A.O. Hume. A.O.H.U.M.E. Hume. Don't write Fume. Hume. H-U-M-E. Hume. A.O. Hume. Work for you. Find out the short story of A.O. Hume and the formation of Congress Party. Okay, he's not an Indian basically. Okay, A.O. Hume. Clear? So, note down 1885 by A.O. Hume. As a pressure group for newly educated, as a pressure group, so the Congress evolved from its origin in 1885 as a pressure group for newly educated, professional, professional and commercial classes. To a mass movement, to a mass movement, to a mass movement in the 20th century. In the 20th century. This laid the basis for its eventual transformation into a mass political party and its subsequent domination of the political system. Repeating this first point, the Congress evolved from its origin in 1885 as a pressure group for newly educated, professional, and commercial classes to a mass movement in the 20th century. This laid the basis for its eventual transformation into a mass political party and its subsequent domination of political system. Next one, the result of the first general election, the results of the first general elections, the results of the first general election did not surprise anyone. Full stop. The Congress Party inherited the legacy of the national movement. So find out the entire meaning of the term legacy. What is that? Legacy. Socialists, we use that, right or not? Basically, Congress Party is the party that that basically participated in the national movement. So almost all the national movement is revolved or revolved around the Congress Party. Clear or not? Or almost all the leaders are from the Congress Party. So that's created that legacy there. Okay. Next one, third point. It was the only party. It was the only party. It was the only party that to have an organization. That to have an organization. That to have an organization spread all over the country. Spread all over the country. So don't compare the elections of those time or that time with the present day situations, right or not? At that time, we know that the transportation facilities are limited. Okay, communication facilities are limited. Clear or not? Within a short time of time, we are unable to give any information to anybody. It's impossible task. Clear or not? Okay, so it was that type of election that conducted at that time. Okay, so that only party that have some national level organizational setup, that is only Congress Party. Okay, next one, full stop. And at the end, and at the end, as Jawaharlal Nehru, and at the end, as Jawaharlal Nehru, comma, the party got the most popular. Jawaharlal Nehru, comma, the party got the most popular and charismatic leader CHARISMATIC, charismatic leader in Indian politics. In Indian politics. Okay. Next one, we know that how many seats Congress Party won in that first election, right? So next one, the Communist Party of India that came next in terms of the Communist Party of India that came next in terms of seats. The Communist Party of India that came next in terms of seats won only 16 seats. Won only 16 seats. 16 seats. Okay. So you can write the Congress Party won. You just add this statement there. I will underline in your textbook, page number 30. The Congress Party won 364 of the 489 seats in the first Lok Sabha and finished way ahead of any other challenger. Write that point. Write that point also. Okay. Next point. No doubt in 1952, no doubt in the 1952 election, no doubt in 1952 election, Congress Party scored, Congress Party scored, Congress Party scored a big victory, a big victory, a big victory, but it was not in power, but it was not in power but it was not in power in the states like, but it was not in power in the states like Travancore, Travancore and Cochin. And Cochin. That is Kerala, Kerala. Okay. Comma, Madras and Orissa. Madras and Orissa. Madras and Orissa. Madras and Orissa. Full stop. Congress dominated in India, Congress dominated in India due to identification in India due to identification with freedom struggle, due to identification with freedom struggle, with the freedom struggle. Popular appeal of leaders, popular appeal of leaders, comma, a broad manifesto, a broad manifesto, manifesto, manifesto. So, you know, election manifesto means the political parties will offer, okay, different programs and policies for the people. So some of us will get attraction towards that particular offer that provided by some particular political party. Clear. I already told you that now is the time for election manifestos. While reading these election manifestos, we will sometime the elder people might start laughing because the what you can say, these people, I mean the political leaders, they are offered that many things for us. Okay, clear or not? So far that what we not received yet. So you know, if you're riding or driving on the roads, we are able to see that everywhere road repairing works are going on. Clear or not? So last 5 years or last 10 years, the roads are like that now. And now, just before the election, they are trying to repair the roads. You observed that? Hmm? Ah. Just after the repairing, water authority people will come and they will start digging there. Okay, to lay down pipes. Clear. So what they repaired, the road they repaired. What the water authority did, they laid the pipes there. And what is the situation of the road now? Again damaged. Okay. Clear or not? Again, after 5 years, we will wait. Clear. Just before the next election, they will repair it. Then telephone department will come. They also will start digging to lay down the optic fiber. Another thing that what we want. Clear. Again, it damaged. Again, we want to wait 5 more years. Okay. So such kind of problems is a phenomenon. Okay, that what we are able to find in our state. Not only our state things are somewhat better, I think so. Okay, clear. So write down. So popular appeal of the leaders, a broad manifesto, including every section of society, and conscious building role of party. Okay. And the conscious building role of the party. Clear. So these are the points related to the Congress dominions in the first 3 general elections. So we know that this is some important points I told you people. So here all the important points are there in the textbook. Just observe it clearly, learn it clearly, and write one or 2 questions you wrote already, right? So write the criticism on the first election and how the Congress party came into power. Okay. So learn about Rajkumari, Amrit Kaur, and observe this map of map of the first election and the graphical report. Okay, find out the names of this political party. You can see here. Okay, INC, IND, CPA, SP, KMPP, PDF, GP, HMS, and others. Okay, clear or not? So that find it. So learn perfectly for the next day test, the first chapter. Clear or not? Everyone want to score 20 marks. It's a compulsory. Okay. So political science chapters are not that much problematic or that is able to create a trouble for the students. Okay. Some sense and a little bit hard work is there means you are able to understand and you are able to write those answers. Clear or not? It is just like stories. Okay. That connected with the different years. Clear or not? A thread is there. Clear, like a garland. Okay, thread is there. All things are connected. All things are connected. Clear. If I'm asking about your story, you are able to start telling that, right or not? From the pre-KG, LKG, UKG, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, and now 12th. You are able to say a number of things that are related with your life, right? Right? Yes or no? The history also like that only. Almost all the things are connected. It's just a story. His or her story. His or her story. That's what history. Clear or not? Clear or not? His or her story only. But the thing is, okay, months, dates, years. Clear or not? Dates and years. Along with the months and the years. Clear or not? That is compulsory. Hmm? Clear or not? So if those things are there, easily you are. And political science also, it is necessary to prepare a timeline. You know what is a timeline? Timeline. So here we started from 1947, our textbook starting from 1947, basically discussing the contemporary history. Clear? I'm teaching social studies, sorry, political science, but it is history only, right or not? The things that what happened in the past. Clear? That things that what happened in the past. So we can categorize this is history, right? But what we are learning, hmm? Only the political activities that what happened. So the past politics is today's what? History, right? So these things are the past politics. So it is the history, right? So you're learning about the past. So only about the administration and governance in India. So it is starting from 47, 1948, 1949, 1950, 51, 52. Okay, so in each and every year, number of incidents. Okay, some years we cannot find any particular incident there, so leave it. Clear? Clear? So use a notebook or take a notebook and write these years and write down the things that happened in that particular year. Clear? Along with the dates, I mean months and particular days there. Okay. So everyone, hope you will learn the things for the examination that going to conduct tomorrow. So we will meet in the next class. Thank you everyone.